and welcome to the RK Football Podcast. I'm Carl Dixon, joined in the studio by Matt Tye.
Hello.
Stuart Irvine's on the phone with us.
Hello.
We're missing two members today. Graham Eyre and Matt Thowney are both
On international duty.
on international duty, yeah. Well,
Matt
Thowney's on international duty, I guess. He's scheduling difficulties with work while
Graham's injured.
Graham's
Self-injured.
after the Ballon d'Ors on Sunday. He's had a week-long celebration, and he's a bit. Well, the doctor said he has to have bed rest. He's asleep. But we got the three of us. We can do something with it.
It'll be the shortest podcast in history with us.
Come on. Like we could do.
We don't have Thowney arguing and Graham burning him. Of course it's going to be short.
Well, I'm sure Stuart on the phone can do the arguing for us. Isn't that right, Stu?
Yeah, I'll try.
You'll try.
So I can do.
There has been a lot of news going on in the past week. Transfer windows open. The Ballon d'Ors I mentioned earlier. The FA Cup third round replays were this week, with Tottenham, Southampton, West Ham, and Everton all in action. We have to start with the biggest transfer of the week, and quite possibly the biggest transfer of the January transfer window. Manchester City have completed the signing of Swansea striker Wilfred Boney in a deal that could be worth up to £28 million. Boney's agreed a 4.5-year deal at the Etihad Stadium and will wear the number 14 shirt. Matt Tye has a great start on the number 14 shirt.
I saw on Twitter that the number 14 shirt previous owners at Manchester City are Joe and Roque Santa Cruz. No pressure whatsoever.
He's got a good start there then. So Boney, what do you think? Is he good enough for Man City?
He's good. He's good enough, but whether or not the likes of Dzeko, Jovetic and Aguero will be outplaced by him is another question.
Well, I think if Aguero and Dzeko aren't starting each week, they're not going to be happy. That's the point. Is Boney better than Aguero?
No.
Is Boney better than Dzeko? Not for me, no.
Is he better than Jovetic?
That's the question, right?
Well,
that is the ultimate question. Is he better than Jovetic?
That's the question, but at the same time, if you're Boney, do you really want the question to be, am I better than Manchester City's third best striker when I'm worth £28 million?
Yeah.
He's now like the highest transferred African player now.
Yeah.
At 28 mil.
It's originally £25 million paying cash up front with a further £3 million in performance-related add-ons, such as if he gets so many goals or he plays so many times for his country, something like that. Boney, the most expensive African footballer, just beaten out Emmanuel Adebayor, who joined City from Arsenal in 2009 for £25 million. Michael Essien's in third to Chelsea from Lyon in 2004, £24.4 million. Yaya Toure and Didier Drogba also make up the top five with £24 million each. What do Swansea do with this? Because they're missing their top-class striker now. I mean, they were missing him for the month anyway, which isn't a bad thing, but where they've got £25 million to spend, they need a striker. Is Michu going to come back to the Premier League?
Well, he will at the end of the season, but whether or not they recall him is another thing. Because currently Swansea have Bafétimbi Gomez. I think Emnes can play up front, and they've got the guy off Benfica on loan for the rest of the season.
Well, see, the thing is, the only reason I asked that is because I saw an article in the past few days about the possibility of Swansea recalling Michu because of a possible transfer out for Bafétimbi Gomez, which is something we just saw before we came on air, actually.
Crystal Palace are weighing up an £8 million bid for Bafétimbi.
So Gomez could be on his way out. Boney's gone. Michu's not there. Have they still got Leroy Lita? Are they okay?
I think he's there. I'm not sure. We'll have to send someone to check on him.
So who do they look for, those top class strikers? What are they going to be looking for? Because I mean, you've got Berahino's linked to a load of top clubs. Is he in Swansea's league? Probably not.
It's better than nothing.
I know, but like what I'm saying is, if Berahino's looking at it, why would he go to Swansea from West Brom? They're on the same sort of level.
Yeah, I mean, and also with West Brom's asking price. I mean, I know they've got like 25 million, but...
Yeah, Berahino's not worth 25 million at the same time.
No.
Yeah. But
I mean, I know he takes care of business, but...
I was waiting for that to come in.
I mean, you've also got people like Shane Long, who scored a cracking goal for Southampton the other night, that we'll speak about in a little while, who's not playing every week, might fancy a loan move, for example. And then there's people at Chelsea, Man United, on the bench, young strikers that they could sign on. Patrick Bamford, I'm not sure where he is right now.
He's currently on a season-long loan at Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough, yeah, that's right. But, like, people of that calibre.
Chelsea do have a young striker called Izzy Farouz, who is a Scottish player who we signed off Celtic, so and he's just been sort of waiting his chance, and he is currently looking at a loan move to an English club. So maybe Swansea could do it. Well,
yeah, a British club.
British club, also.
Stuart, if you were a Swansea manager now, who would you sign to replace Boney?
If I was them, I would have gone for Defoe.
Defoe's an interesting one. We will speak about Defoe in a little while, so we're not going to go there just yet. But apart from Defoe, Stuart.
I don't know. I mean, what we're talking about, I mean, Shane Long might be a good signing for them.
So this is the problem, though. Most top-class strikers nowadays, there aren't many out there that are available.
No.
Because, I mean, we spoke about Boney, and the question is he better than Jovetic? But Boney's going there to sit on the bench. And that's what most top-class strikers are doing now, sitting on the bench. I mean, you look at Lucas Podolski at Arsenal. He's a top-class striker, sitting on the bench.
Well, not anymore.
Well, you know what I mean. He's not playing. Man United have sent Javier Hernandez out on loan to Real Madrid, although that could be where Swansea could look. Hernandez, because Real Madrid don't want Hernandez for some reason. Yeah. So how much will this affect Swansea's plan for the rest of the season? Because they must have been looking for maybe sneaking a UEFA Cup spot, well, Europa League spot.
I think unless they can get a similar striker in, they're probably going to drop maybe a couple of positions down than what they were initially hoping for. Because Boney was the Premier League top scorer of the year of 2014, and in Swansea's Premier League history, he's their top scorer with 25 goals. Dennis Michu with 20.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So we'll go from Boney to a article that we hadn't spoke about before in preparation for this show, but it's just caught my eye and it's really interesting. Manchester United have announced that Darren Fletcher could leave during the current transfer window. Fletcher's successfully recovered from a long-standing chronic bowel condition. He's interested in a number of clubs, including West Brom. But that's a shock, because you never thought that Darren Fletcher, who's Man United vice-captain, you must remember, would be allowed to leave. His contract expires at the end of the season, so they might be looking to make some money out of it. And the fact that in December Michael Carrick was promoted to vice-captain. So Van Gaal's not a fan. Would you be a fan, Stuart?
Well, I've Fletcher, yeah, I've always been a fan. For the fact he was Scottish. It was always nice, and also he was a captain, and he always played brilliant for Scotland and everything like that. I'm not surprised he wants to leave, because I think he's been put in defence lately, if I remember correctly. So if I was him, I mean, for example like West Brom might go for him in, at least he'll start every game, and his experience will help clubs lower down in the league. So I would say good for him.
See, the thing is, he's been fit all season, Darren Fletcher. Started the first 3 games of the season. He's not missed a training session since. He came on twice as well, so it's 5 times he's played for United. He started twice for Scotland. He's fit, which is not something you could say for the past few seasons. He wants games, and he's only 30. You look at Darren Fletcher and you think he's got to be 35. You know what I mean?
He's been around. He's a name that's been around for a while.
So long. Well, he came in at, 18, 17? So, Darren Fletcher's on his way out. Not quite what Swansea are looking for.
No.
They wish they could sign some of the players we're going to talk about now, because on Sunday I believe it was Sunday, it was the 2014 FIFA Ballon d'Or ceremony. Top prizes were handed out, and it was Ronaldo versus Messi.
And Neuer had a brief period.
And Neuer had a brief period, yeah. Before we go into the winners, I want your opinions. Ronaldo or Messi? Matt, Tye.
Ronaldo.
Stuart?
Ronaldo, no doubt.
Well, you weren't the only ones thinking that, because Ronaldo won the 2014 FIFA Ballon d'Or.
Well done him.
Second year running for the Portuguese. I'm reading this off the Arcade Football Talk site, because we have a post up on it. Check it out, arcadefootballtalk.wordpress.com. Ronaldo beat Messi and Manuel Neuer, as you mentioned. Ronaldo scored a stunning 52 goals in just 43 games in 2014. 52 in 43. Come on, that's just...
Come on.
Come on. Wow. I mean, he's known as a goal scorer. He's also got 17 assists during that calendar year, as he won the Champions League, the Copa del Rey, and the FIFA Club World Cup.
And the Super Cup.
Everybody else seemed to... It was a majority of the vote Ronaldo got. He got 37.66% of the votes, while Messi only got 15 and Neuer only got 15. So Ronaldo was the clear favourite. Did anyone see his
celebration?
His speech, even.
I've seen an internet meme of his end of celebration going around. I don't know what else he said, I just know what he did.
Well, in the speech itself, he seemed to get very emotional. He collected the award of Thierry Henry, by the way, one of the best players never to win the Ballon d'Or, and said, "I'd like to thank all those who voted for me, blah, 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 blah," with tears in his eyes. I'm like, is that for the cameras? Is that for Paris Hilton?
That's his second award.
It's his third.
It's his second in a row consecutively. It's the third time he's been voted. He did win it in 2008, I believe, when he was
2008 with United, yes.
When we thought he was unstoppable then.
Those days.
From men's to women's, because people say we don't give
enough
credit. Women's football enough credit. The Women's World Player of the Year award went to Germany midfielder Nadine Kessler. She beat Brazil's Marta and USA's Abby Wambach to the award.
I heard an interesting stat about Marta. For the last 10 years, she's either won it or come second.
Yeah, she has.
And she's still under 30, isn't she?
It's phenomenal. It's a statement of how women's football used to be, as well as how good of a player she is. I mean, I don't give women's football as much of an interest as I should. I'm pretty sure you all don't here on this podcast.
I've actually got a bit of coaching history with women's football.
Wow. So over to Matt. But it is growing, and we have mentioned this before. BT Sport are a big help. What more can be done so that awards like this aren't just a little throwaway paragraph in an article, and more of Nadine Kessler has won Women's Player of the Year award? You know what I mean?
I think it's all down to its publication and how much money sort of goes into it. Because yes, it's got BT Sport show the Women's Super League, but that's all the women's football we see. It's either the Women's Super League or the Women's Cup, and BBC every so often the England internationals. We don't see that much women's football. Whereas we've got games from all around the world on Sky Sports. So if it's got the right publication and more interest, then we'll become a bigger following, and then it won't be just a throwaway paragraph. It might get its own article.
If I'm right, I believe Stuart actually is a big fan of women's football. Thanks, Stuart.
I'm trying to be. Yeah. I mean, there was. You used to have was it Women's FA Cup?
Yeah.
It used to be on was it May Holiday or something like that? And it used to was it Arsenal used to be always in it?
Yeah, with Kelly Smith.
Yeah, and it used to be against someone that other women's side that usually lost. But yeah, no, I mean, isn't the Women's World Cup this year?
Yes, it is.
So,
it's in Canada. England qualified with flying colours.
Well, that's unusual for England. I mean, happening. But yeah, I mean, that might be. We done well last time. I think we got to the quarterfinals, if I remember.
We'll be lucky to beat Germany or Brazil though, because they are top quality women's sides. The one thing I don't like with women's football, Birmingham City are actually pretty good in the women's game. It burns me up inside to say that.
Well,
is there an Aston Villa women's team?
Yeah, but we're like in Division 3 or something like that.
Well,
but have you seen? No disrespect to women's football, but have you seen some of the women's Super League teams? There's the old City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Bristol,
City, yeah.
Doncaster,
Yeah.
Birmingham.
How? We'll go from Player of the Year to Goal of the Year. The Puskás Award, named after the legendary Hungarian player. There were three goals in contention, really. In third,
Was it Van Persie's?
Was Van Persie's diving header for Holland against Spain at the FIFA World Cup in that 5-1 victory.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, 5-1 victory. In second place was a brilliant goal that did the rounds on the internet, on the BBC. Stephanie Roach scored a stunner for Piemont, I'd go with, against Wexford in the Irish top flight women's league. Which
that was a cracker.
Anyone, if you haven't saw that goal, search it out right now. Do it now. YouTube now.
You're on YouTube for this. You can open a new tab.
It was a stunning goal. Goal of the year, no surprise really, went to James.
James.
I always do that. James Rodriguez scored at the FIFA World Cup for Colombia against Uruguay. That brilliant volley in the quarterfinals. I think we all remember where we were when that went in.
Pub,
yeah. Is there any goal that you can think of that didn't get noticed enough? Maybe not win Goal of the Year, but should have been in the running, or
Cahill's?
Tim Cahill's.
In the World Cup. The one against
Holland.
Yeah, that was pretty, but I mean that was pretty spectacular. So
I'm not sure, because I think Van Persie's header is technically better.
I as much as I hate to say this, one of Suarez's against Norwich from like the halfway line. We just turned, didn't even look at the goal, just still looking at the floor.
Was that 2014? Don't think it was. I think it might have just been 2013.
Well, he scored something like 10 goals against Norwich since he's been here. He's bound to have scored at least one, which was good in 2014.
I mean, you can think of goals against West Ham. He scored at Anfield, just volleys, and he's surprised he's not in there. James Rodriguez, top player. Colombia, are they a top team for him?
I don't think he has a choice.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm not saying that.
He can't transfer to Brazil.
Is it a sort of Ronaldo sort of deal where he's never going to be successful internationally because the team isn't good enough?
I don't know much about Colombian football, so I can't really judge. But also, by not knowing much about Colombian football, it probably shows how good they are.
Yeah. We'll go from Goal of the Year to FIFA Pro World 11 2014. And this has caused quite a bit of controversy. We'll run through the side. Obviously in goal, Manuel Neuer. No surprise. Came third in the Ballon d'Or. No surprise. At right back, it was Sergio Ramos, which was a bit of a surprise to me.
I've heard different variations of the whole 11.
Defence in particular. Sergio Ramos of Real Madrid and Spain at right back. Now here is the controversial bit to me. The centre-backs. David Luiz and Thiago Silva of PSG in Brazil are the two centre-backs.
No.
While Philippe Lahm is at left back. See, I thought that. I thought, well, why is David Luiz in there? I'd put Sergio Ramos in there at centre back, and I don't know, maybe a Jerome Boateng or something like that at right back. I mean, top quality defenders are hard to come by. I'm not saying David Luiz shouldn't be like on the bench in this sort of side, but top two centre backs. The only thing I can think of is if they're looking for a partnership. David Luiz at a centre back partnership for PSG and Brazil.
They've never done partnerships in the past. There's been years where it's been John Terry and someone of like Ramos's name.
I know that. I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing that I could think of having it together, because Luiz and Silva right now, they don't play a game of football on opposite sides. You know what I mean? They're always next to each other.
The reason why there's controversy is because Luiz technically he played the whole year, but in theory he only really played from June onwards as a centre back.
Because he was playing defensive midfield for Chelsea.
He wasn't even playing there. As soon as Matic came in, he was benched. He hardly played for Chelsea. Yeah. And then he got the £50 million transfer to PSG, which looked great when Brazil lost 7-1, which he was part of.
Yeah. And Thiago Silva was part of.
Thiago Silva was suspended.
He was suspended. But even so, to get yourself suspended is
that's
part of the problem.
But you can't really judge a player who, yes, he's a fantastic player on his day, but David Luiz is too inconsistent to be classed as the best defender.
David Luiz is a great midfielder.
He's an unbelievable midfielder. That's why when he played in midfield, it was probably his best period at Chelsea, because when he can bomb forward and do a stupid strike that goes into Rosette, we always had Terry and Cahill behind there going, oh, he's done it again.
So, what would your back four be? It's a difficult one because I think I don't know about everyone else, but I reckon most people are probably thinking the same of take Luiz out there, put Ramos in at centre back. They're probably the two best centre backs in the world right now. I don't think there's much more you can think of really.
Company maybe, Terry.
Even so, I reckon Ramos has had a better year than Company and Terry.
Terry was part of the best defence of the Premier League of 2014.
I know, but like with a Champions League win, they're storming to the La Liga title in a way. Who do you bring in at right back if you do that? I would have mentioned there's Jerome Boateng maybe, but who else?
Aspilicueta.
It shows the lack of top quality defenders in today's game now. I know it's all focused on attack. We'll move it forward to midfield. Stu, were you surprised with the midfield of Andres Iniesta, Toni Kroos and Angel Di Maria?
Maybe Angel Di Maria, maybe. I mean, did he do? I think when the Champions League winner side of Real Madrid? I mean, I can't remember. Was he that phenomenal? Did he deserve to be in the side?
He pretty much influenced the final for them.
The first half of the year, Di Maria won them the Champions League, really. Bale got the goals, but Di Maria got,
really, I think, 2 or 3 of the 4 assists.
Fair enough then. I mean, I just think.
I think if Di Maria didn't leave Real Madrid right now, he'd be on a level of Gareth Bale. In it quite easily.
It'd be interesting to see where he would fit into that squad, though.
Well, that's the thing. They chose to sell him because they didn't think he could fit in. But to me, I'd have had him in there.
But who would you dropped?
Benzema.
Or have Ronaldo as a sole striker?
And have Ronaldo as a sole striker. If you look at the way Ronaldo plays, he plays as a striker anyway.
He's scoring enough goals as a striker.
Well, where he plays, it works, obviously.
Who would you brought into this squad, the World 11, if you took Di Maria out, Stu? Again,
there's been a lot of shouts for the likes of Hazard and Yaya Toure to be brought in.
Yaya Toure was a good shout for the first half of the season. I think if Toure didn't have such a
quiet start to this season,
crappy start.
Iron Robin is put down on the attack way. Move him.
Yeah, well, the attack is Ronaldo, as you'd expect, Messi, as you'd expect, and Robin, as you'd expect, really.
Have you seen the FIFA Pro of the Year if they took into account just Premier League votes? It's Neuer then it's... I can't remember who... It's Company instead of Luiz.
Yeah.
Toure instead of Iniesta, and Suarez instead of Neymar.
Whoa.
No, Suarez instead of... Suarez instead of... Suarez, Ronaldo, Messi.
Suarez ahead of Messi, I'm not sure.
No, it's Suarez, Messi, Ronaldo. I think that's the front 3.
Yeah, but I don't know whether you'd have Suarez ahead of Robert or anything. I don't know. So, is that the main choice for top players in the world? Is there anyone that's been sort of properly left out?
Bale's been fantastic.
Bale is the one that's not mentioned, but I think unfortunately for Bale...
He's Welsh.
Not just that. Ronaldo, Messi and Robin are phenomenal. Robin will drop out soon and Bale will slide in there in the next couple of years. I'm pretty confident of that.
Hazard should be coming in soon, I reckon. Maybe Goetze.
Maybe. We'll go quickly into the managers, men's coach of the year. Won unsurprisingly by Germany coach Joachim Low after Germany were crowned world champions with a 1-0 win over Argentina in the World Cup final in July. Not really a surprise. It was unlucky for Diego Simeone, who won the La Liga title with Atletico, which was a great achievement after the monopoly of Barcelona at Real Madrid. Real manager Carlo Ancelotti came in third. I'm disappointed for Simeone, really. I think we're hearing banging in the studio for some random reason. I think Simeone has done a better job at Atletico than Lowe's done at Germany, because it's easier to win the World Cup with Germany than win the La Liga title with Atletico.
I think Löw won it more on the fact that he was the first European nation to win in South America.
Yeah, quite possibly. There's been some breaking news today from Manchester United again. Man United have sacked European scout Torben. Let's see if I get this right. Torben Akjer.
I'm going to go with no.
Torben.
The scout Torben.
Scout Torben, yeah. For offensive posts, the Denmark-based Scout Torben. We can't say the actual messages he posted, but you could find them online somewhere. Ironically enough, it's like, because United's statement is, the club received evidence from The Guardian and has ended our association with Mr. Scout Torben. But the problem I have with that is it's like an old school tale, isn't it? Just like where a kid ran up to the teacher, like, he's done this, he's done. The Guardian have ran up to Man United like, your scout's done this. It's a bit of a tattletale, isn't it, really?
Did you even know who the guy was until now?
No.
So,
but isn't that the point of a scout? Because you don't know he's there. That's the point.
Yeah, but you know the way it is these days, where you probably know like all the backroom stuff for teams and that now. So
yeah.
But
from one backroom staff to another, England under-21s coach Gareth Southgate has agreed a 1-year contract extension with the FA, which will keep him in his post until the summer of 2017, which is great for England in particular. Southgate was appointed in 2013, and it says here he has guided England to this summer's European Championships. They destroyed that group.
Didn't we win 10 or win 9, drew 1?
It was brilliant. It really, really was. Good news, definitely. Southgate is good at bringing you through. The likes of Berahino and whatnot. We'll move through that quickly, because there are more important stories, and there's not much we can say about Southgate's contract extension if we're honest. An interesting one came out yesterday that FIFA have prevented Nice from registering new signing Hatem Ben Arfa. Ben Arfa joined the League One club, or the Liga One club, on an 18-month deal after his loan at Hull City ended and his Newcastle contract was terminated. But FIFA have ruled that Ben Arfa's played for more than 2 clubs this season already. He played eight times for Hull, no denying that. He also played for Newcastle's under-21 side, which is basically the reserves. But FIFA classes that as an official match, so he's not allowed to play for anyone else for the rest of the season. Ben Arfa is screwed.
I mean, that sounds a bit. It sounds a bit harsh. Like, because he played for the under-21s, that probably was to get his fitness up or something.
It was
to get his fitness up, because Pardew said he was fat when he came back after summer.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was.
The controversy is because the English FA don't see the under-21s game as an official match, but FIFA do. That's the controversy. Because
what about you? What about you? UEFA? What can they? I mean, what's that?
UEFA will just fall in line with FIFA, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but like, it's definitely a row between FA and FIFA more than Ben Arfa at the minute.
Again, there's nothing new there.
It as I say, it leaves Ben Arthur in limbo. He can't play for another side until June. So
he could just go back to Hull on a short-term contract.
Yeah, play for them on the 21.
Well, he can play for Hull or Newcastle, but I can't see Newcastle taking him back, and I can't see Hull taking him back personally. We'll go from a man stuck in limbo to the FA Cup third round, because that's all about limbo and luck.
Especially replays, yeah.
It's the FA Cup third round replays. It was this midweek. Last night of recording, as today is Thursday, the day of recording. It was Wednesday night and Tuesday night, the games. We'll start with Wednesday's nights because Tuesdays are probably more known at this point. The game on the BBC was Ipswich versus Southampton. After the draw at St Mary's a couple of weeks back, it was a close game. From what I read, from what I've saw, in terms of scoreline, and yes, Southampton may have dominated, but Ipswich had a goal ruled out earlier on. Wanyama, he's out for an injury, hamstring injury, out for a few weeks, which is disappointing for Southampton. But Shane Long's goal,
something special indeed. Talk us through the goal in case anyone hasn't saw it. Basically, after soaking up a lot of Ipswich pressure, Southampton broke. I can't remember if it was James Ward-Prowse or Taggart who had the ball, wriggling through the defence. Probably one of the best defensive challenges you've seen, clears the ball off him, and you think, oh, that's the attack move. But coming in off the end of penalty box, Shane Long, first time strike, just beautifully guides in.
Finish with his left foot. That is, I'm literally watching it as we're talking, but it is a great finish. The sliding tackle is actually a brilliant tackle from the centre back. That is the right back actually covering. That's a brilliant tackle.
Anywhere else, that's probably the best tackle of the match. But because Shane
Long's finish, phenomenal. So Southampton are through. That's the important thing to take from it, despite Ipswich's hard
They now
efforts.
host Palace.
They now host Palace in the fourth round. From what I've read as well, the game, it's cheaper tickets at St Mary's.
£7 for students.
£7 for students, also £12 for anybody else, which isn't bad.
And it's the weekend you're down here, Stu, so if you fancy a trip out, we could do a live report.
If you're around the Southampton area and you want to check it out there, you go. £12 St Mary's Stadium. Ipswich are out, and so are Burnley. So are Burnley. What a game it was at White Hart Lane.
2-0 up after 5 minutes. You think you're cruising?
Burnley were 2-0 up after 5 minutes. Marvin Sordell scored an absolutely brilliant goal. The long
I
ball,
didn't see it.
A long ball over the top, split the defence, and Sordell hits it first time with left foot on the half volley, straight to the top corner. Keeper didn't even move. Stuart, you saw the goal?
No, but I'm just trying to watch it now, funny enough.
It was a brilliant goal. I mean, goalkeeper Michel Vorm just
couldn't do anything.
Couldn't do anything. Really couldn't do anything. They added a second soon after.
Just seen the goal now.
They added a second. Ross Wallace with a deflected free kick. So Burnley 2-0 up. What do Tottenham think at that point? Where do you go with that?
Paulinho.
Well, you know what I mean. But like 2-0 down, and it's only 8 minutes into the game. If you're the manager of Tottenham, there, what do you say to your side?
I can't say on a live radio broadcast.
Okay, in so many words.
What do you think you're doing? You're paid professionals at probably the top of the league. Yeah. What are you playing at? This is Burnley.
Performance and stuff like that. Just maybe language that you said.
I was speaking to one of our mates, Dave, who's a big Tottenham fan, and I was reading off the results, and he said, "Oh, by the way, Dave, after 6 minutes, you're 1-0, you're 2-0 down to Burnley." He said, "Can I see the squad?" And he said, "But that's pretty much our full team squad."
Tottenham did pull a goal back only 2 minutes after Wallace's goal, actually, in the 10th minute. Great start to the game, definitely. Andros Townsend cutting slanted left foot, curled the ball in, and it's flicked on by Soldado into Paulinho. It's a great finish on the half volley from Paulinho. So 2-1. Tottenham have got a chance here. They're getting going. They've got a chance. And at the end of half time, with half time looming, 45th minute, Etienne Capoue scores. But before that, I do want to speak about this absolutely phenomenal miss by Soldado. I mean,
oh God,
Jesus, what a miss! You saw the miss. Everyone's got to have saw this miss by now. If you haven't, Townsend squares it across. Soldado is 4 yards out. Open goal. It's not bobbling. It's nothing. He kicks the ball from one foot onto the other, and it flicks into the crossbar and over. Wow.
He's doing a Torres, seriously. He's having Torres form. He can't score. Yeah.
I mean, Soldado, they brought him in to replace Jermaine Defoe, really, because when Defoe left, and they brought Soldado in. And where is the player we saw banging in goals for Valencia?
Still in Valencia.
He's still sitting somewhere. We go from the bad miss to the phenomenal goal. Etienne Capoue, as we mentioned, what a finish that is. As it's pulled back, he just whacks it as hard as he can, really. And all of a sudden, it's 2-2 going into the second half. Game on. An unlikely scorer puts Spurs in front for the first time. Vlad Kirichez. I think it might be his first Tottenham goal, to be honest.
Is he there, that midfielder?
He's a centre-back, and he gets up at the back post. It's terrible defending from Burnley, that is. Goalkeeper should come for it, really. Misses it completely, and there's Vlad at the back post, just into the bottom corner. No problem whatsoever. And
Danny Rose got the fourth.
And then just after Danny Rose got the fourth, literally, it was literally only 3 minutes after Kirichez's goal. So 52 minutes on the clock, and the game's over again. So it's a really, really weird game. Squared across, Danny Rose is there. It's a simple finish. It's great football again. Tottenham are through. They will host Leicester in the next round. And that could be a tougher game for them. Premier League again, just like Southampton and Palace. Luckily, it's at home, which could be telling. Can Tottenham put together a cup run and win this?
I think they could put together a cup run, but whether they'll win it or not is another question, because it is pretty much luck of the draw.
It is pretty much luck of the draw indeed. And I mean, the draw originally, the fourth round draw, had us, salivating at the thought of Chelsea versus Millwall.
I was going to go to that.
I mean, the police were terrified at this point. I mean,
have you seen that internet clip of the police now?
Yeah.
After they find out.
Well, it turns out Millwall Chelsea's not going to happen after the Lions just
rolled over.
Yeah. The Lions weren't roaring anymore. They lost 4-0 to Bradford. League One Bradford beat Championship side Millwall 4-0.
It was all over after 5 minutes, though.
It was literally, not necessarily 5 minutes, but James Hansen gave them the lead in 8 minutes. Johnson Stead added a second. Andrew Halliday got a third, and this is in 39 minutes, and they're 3-0 up over a Championship side.
Well, we're not surprised. I mean, we were talking about Bradford. They got to the League Cup final like 2 years ago.
I mean, unfortunately, right at the start of the game, Millwall are given a red card. That's the changing point. Because Mark Beaver was sent off after only
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah, literally 5 minutes. James Hansen heads in at the back post, gives them a 1-0 lead. Bradford go from there. They're through. They will face Chelsea. I believe the game's at Stamford Bridge.
It's at Stamford Bridge on Saturday.
Not this Saturday.
No, it's Saturday, next Saturday, yeah.
So, not bad for Chelsea then. Actually, saying that, I have experience, trust me, that Bradford are a decent cup side. As a Villa fan, I can tell you that Bradford are a decent cup side. So beware, Chelsea fans. Probably the game of the week, like midweek games, was at Upton Park on Tuesday. West Ham versus Everton, where everything happened. Literally, you could have had a checklist. All this happened, this happened.
You needed goals, sending offs.
You got goals, you got sending off, you got penalties.
And the goalie scoring.
You got the goalie scoring. You also got 2 West Ham players trying to fight each other.
What more do you need in football?
Everything. we're not going to go through it too much because we could dedicate an whole episode to the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
All we're going to say is it was a phenomenal game. If you want to watch it, you can find it on the internet.
Highlights are somewhere.
Highlights are on the BBC website. Full games you can find on the internet. West Ham, in the end, went through 9-8 on penalties after Adrian, and the clip of him...
I was just taking off his gloves.
Oh, man, it's just glorious.
You know what he was doing?
That's it, I'm done.
Do you know what he was doing? He was taking care of business.
He was taking care of business. Literally, if you see this clip, you just see him go, take his goalkeeper gloves off and go,
bang!
I'm finishing this. And he did. West Ham are through. They face Bristol City in the 4th round, which is a good little draw for them.
Bristol City had to get through their own little replay of their own.
Had to get through their own replay, yeah. They beat Doncaster 2-0. J. Emmanuel Thomas got 2, first half and second half. Emmanuel Thomas is someone who had a lot of potential, but never quite lived up to it again. Emmanuel Thomas, I believe, actually, he's an ex-West Ham player, but I could be wrong.
The Arsenal?
Oh, it was Arsenal.
Arsenal, yes.
Arsenal, yeah. But he has won the FA Youth Cup with Arsenal, which could be nice. It's Doncaster West Ham in the 4th round, as we mentioned. It's live, actually, on TV. It's live on BT, I believe.
Have they announced it?
No, it's live on the BBC. Hammer's 4th round tie away at Ashland Gate will be live on BBC One on the 25th of January. So
nice little tie.
Cambridge Manchester United is also on the BBC on the Friday night. Yeah. On the same day as Bristol City's win was a phenomenal game at Molineux.
At an emotional Molineux.
Wolves at an emotional one. Molineux. Well, no. Yeah, because Sir Jack Hayward's former Wolves owner, had died that day. So yeah, it was an emotional Molineux, and the side pulled out the bag in terms of coming back after Fulham kept coming back at them. It was a game of both sides just coming back. Fulham won in the end 5-3 on penalties. The thing that I did notice, seeing as, I mean, I'm a black country boy myself, so I know the area, and in the first half, it's normal Molineux, you know what I mean? Grass is green, no problem. I watched the highlights on the BBC. They showed one highlight from the first half and then moved maybe 40 minutes later, and there was no green on the pitch. It was all snow. It was dreadful. But the match went into extra time, 3-3 draw it finished. Fulham win 5-3 on penalties. And their reward for that is a trip to Sunderland, which could go either way, to be honest, because Sunderland might not fancy a cup run with their relegation worries. Might not be bad for them to drop out. And the final tie is a little unknown tie, really. Chesterfield overcame Scunthorpe United by 2-0 to reach the 4th round of the FA Cup for the first time in 18 years for Chesterfield, which is pretty cool. I mean, they've had a dramatic cup run already, because their second round win over MK Dons was ordered to be replayed when it was discovered they'd fielded an ineligible player. So yeah, it's tough on them, but they're through and they get great. You know what I mean? Just what they want. They're through, and then you get Derby County. Yep. So that was fun while it lasted for Chesterfield.
Yep.
We'll go from FA Cup to the transfers, because as Stuart mentioned earlier, Jermaine Defoe is on his way back to English football.
But with Sunderland.
It could, you know what? It could just be what Sunderland need. 16th in the table, and only Aston Villa have scored fewer goals. Sunderland have only scored 18 this season. They need goals. Defoe is the man.
I'm quite surprised nobody else has done for him.
Well, the problem for Defoe is it could still fall through. It all depends on US forward Josie Altidore being ratified by the MLS, because he's part of the deal, you see.
Oh, is he?
So, yeah, Defoe may not be on his way completely. The move to Sunderland will be a permanent deal as well.
Because he's completed a medical last night.
Completed a medical. It's the permanent deal that gets me. He's only been in America, what, a year?
Not even that.
So he's not happy there. He wants to be back in England, and it's a permanent deal. It's exactly what Tottenham, Sunderland need. He has been training at Tottenham as well, so he's pretty fit. Is it a good move for Defoe, or could he get better than that at this stage of his career? I mean, we'll take him at Villa.
He could be using.
You've just signed someone, haven't you?
We've just signed someone as well. Yeah, we signed Carlos Gil, which is a little attacking midfielder from Valencia. He used to play for Elche. He's got very good close control. I will say that, and he's a very amazing. He's a David Silva type of player where he can take people on.
But can he score you goals?
Well, I was watching a YouTube clip of his best bits, right? And he showed great control, as I say. He's an amazing little player, and he's got all these cutting little passes to make things happen. I didn't see him once score a goal or actually get an assist. So, well done, Lambert. Good one there. On the note of Villa, actually, we won't speak about this when we go through the predictions, but Villa fans are going to be hosting a protest at Saturday's game against Liverpool. The idea is, I don't know whether it'll come off, but the idea is that the entire Holt End, which is our cop, our best side, will not take their seats and will not enter the ground until 9 minutes into the game.
Why?
Because it's a protest against Randy Lerner's the way he runs the club. It's 9 minutes for every season that
Lerner's been there.
Owned it. He's only eight seasons, so they're going to miss a minute of each time.
Would they actually let them in? Because
they will let them in. They well, to be honest, when you're if they get it right and the entire half of the ground's empty, then yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll let them in.
Fair enough.
Please come in.
But it shows how things are going for Villa at the moment. The BBC are reporting right now that former Brazil striker Ronaldo has pledged to get back in shape with a view to playing for US club Fort Lauderdale Strikers, who play in the American second tier, which is the North American Soccer League.
Do you know who's in that team, in that league? The New York Cosmos?
The New York Cosmos, yeah. But one thing, that Ronaldo's pledged to get back in shape. Now, which shape is it going to be this time? Is it going to be round? Is it going to be, lean?
What shape's his hair?
What shape's his hair, you know what I mean? I mean, that haircut was dreadful in 2000.
Do you even know why he's coming back? Is there any reason why he's coming back?
Money?
At least he's not doing was it about Maradona? He came back to football, played for some...
Raul has also joined New York Cosmos and is playing in the same league, by the way, as well.
Really?
Yeah. The quote that gets me from Ronaldo is this one. He goes, "It's easy to get in shape. You have to train." Oh, really? Took you a while to realise that one, didn't it? There's a reason he went from Ronaldo, the best player one of the best players ever, to Fat Ronaldo. Come on. He last played in 2011 for Corinthians. He's only 38, Ronaldo. People forget this.
He's 38?
Because of his size, he used to be size. They think he's like 50, but he's only 38. So it's a chance for them. Derby have signed Leeds defender Stephen Warnock for an undisclosed fee. Sky Sports are reporting currently. It's breaking news. Stephen Warnock, the former Villa and Blackburn left back, top quality Championship left back, just what Derby need really. Steve McLaren looking to get a promotion side going there. We'll go from that transfer to the gossip column. We're going to pick our most interesting, and I mean, we have to start with the start.
Start with the start.
I do that all the time. Manchester City manager Manuel Pellegrini has opened the door to a huge move for Barcelona forward Lionel Messi. £480 million.
No.
It's just getting ridiculous now. Everyone, it's just to let you know, it's the Sun they're getting this off. So.
It is the Sun that they got that off. Yeah, that is.
The comic book The Sun are reporting.
Yeah. The Daily Star are also reporting that Arsenal are ready to begin talks with Borussia Dortmund over a £63 million deal to sign Ilkay Gundogan and centre-back Mats Hummels. I can't imagine Dortmund letting go two players to the same side like that.
One, yes, but which one do they?
I can see Hummels leaving at 26, but Gundogan 24. They can keep him for a couple.
They'll keep him for another few years, I reckon.
Palermo have rejected interest from Man United in 21-year-old Argentine striker Paulo Dybala, whom they value at more than £30 million. I've seen him a couple of times when I've been watching some Italian football. He doesn't strike me as £30 million, I've got to be honest.
I bought him on FIFA for 5.
Well,
I know that's FIFA, but the
point still stands.
It was this season, yeah.
Once again, Man United are going to go and spend way too much money on
way too much on a overhyped youngster.
PSG, FC Porto, Juventus and Aston Villa are considering a loan deal for Manchester United winger Adnan Januzaj. We should not be in with those sort of clubs. I'm sorry, but even I can say that looks wrong. PSG, FC Porto, Juventus and Aston Villa.
Where's the Aston Villa?
Well, I think a few weeks ago it was Aston Villa, Sunderland, Sociedad.
Yeah.
So at least you're consistently trying to get him.
Well, that's something, I guess. Crystal Palace are edging closer to meeting £8 million valuation for Bafétimbi Gomez, as we mentioned earlier, while Tony Pulis is going for Darren Fletcher, as we mentioned earlier. We asked about who Boney should be replaced by, and the Telegraph believes they're going to spend £5 million of that on Stuttgart midfielder Alexandru Maxim. He's a 24-year-old. Haven't saw much of him personally myself, but
from what I've seen, he's a good little player.
For £5 million, it might be worth it.
Exactly.
Man United have opened talks with PSG over a £30 million deal to sign 20-year-old Brazilian defender Marquinhos. That's come from a French newspaper, so take it with a pinch of salt. Charlie Austin's been put on alert after stalling over a new contract. The club's been put on alert over him. Tottenham are in the chase for Winston Reid. Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho is ready to cut his losses on wingers Andre Schürrle and Mohamed Salah. May use the money to fund a bid for Rafael Varane. Varane.
I saw that the other day, and it was ready to sell Schürrle. Apparently there was a 30 million move for Schürrle to go to Wolfsburg or Werder Bremen, and that would fund us getting Marco Reus.
Is there much difference between the players nowadays, though?
Reus is more central. That's about it.
No, but in talent-wise, if Schürrle was playing week in, week out for a top side,
talent-wise, they're probably on the par, but
it's like you're a billionaire and you're like, right, do I want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini? While I, aka Aston Villa, are just sitting there on the side like
Ford KA.
Where's the bus? Anyway, Notts Forest manager Stuart Pearce believes he'll be sacked if his side are beaten by Derby on Saturday. I believe that too, actually.
Well, it's funny because they're reporting that he fears for his job. He was on Sky Sports this morning, and they asked him. The Telegraph are reporting that you're feared for your job. Are you? He said no.
I believe he will be sacked if they lose by a couple to Derby.
If it's a close game, I reckon he'll keep it. I don't think he'll get sacked.
I'm not
sure. Who would replace him? I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
Well, this is the problem. I mean, I was having a conversation about the possibility of Paul Lambert being sacked. And as much as I don't think he's done a greatest job, who is there to bring in nowadays?
Sherwood,
though? Is Sherwood going to do a better job than Lambert?
It can't be worse.
It can't be better, I don't think, with Sherwood, personally. Liverpool believe they can rival Chelsea's spending when their expanded main stand opens next year. Why would you want to rival Chelsea's spending?
Because it seems to work.
I think that's more Mourinho than the spending. West Ham goalkeeper Adrian believes his good form could win him a Spain call-up. Now listen, I know we just bigged him up with I'm going to finish this and the gloves. He has no chance of getting a Spain call-up. With David De Gea, Iker Casillas, yes, they make mistakes, but they are still better than Adrian.
And with Victor Valdez at United, and he get more game time, he could get himself back in. Pepe Reina's sitting on a bench in Bayern Munich.
Interestingly, the Lancashire Telegraph are reporting...
Trusted source.
No, just listen to this one. That the way things are with the Fair Play League this season, England are going to get it, I believe. And at the moment, the team that are on course to qualify for the Europa League are Burnley. because of the Fair Play League.
Yeah, that works.
Now that'll be a sight.
It's like a few years ago when Fulham got in and reached the final.
And I mean, I remember 10 years ago when Ipswich Town got relegated, but won
the Fair Play Award.
Wigan did it. You know what I mean? So it's very much possible. Xherdan Shaqiri said he turned down Premier League offers in order to move to Inter Milan. Villa were one of them.
I know Stoke are in him as well.
Stoke as well, yeah. He's dropped off. Finally, a bit of fluff pieces at the end. Man United goalkeeper David De Gea's girlfriend has been selected to represent Spain at the Eurovision Song Contest. Which is pretty cool, actually. And a dog has been trained by his owner to imitate Real Madrid forward Cristiano Ronaldo at the command of Cristiano. Have you saw this?
No.
He does the celebration Ronaldo does. He goes, the owner goes, Cristiano, and the dog does the celebration of the
flexing.
The flexing. It's brilliant. Anyway, I think we'll end it. Well, we'll end the gossip on one that's not actually gossip. It's the news that Paul Wanderers manager Neil Lennon has confirmed he's interested in signing Celtic midfielder Chris Commons. Commons, who's played in the Championship before for Derby, is out of contract at the end of the season. He's 31. Neil Lennon and Commons obviously work together at Celtic, so it's not a bad idea. We will end with predictions.
Before we go any further with predictions, can we talk about Matt Downey?
We do need to speak about Matt Downey. I think there's a reason why he's not here today, guys.
He's conveniently got work.
Got work. Last week, there was a prediction from Matt Downey that Crystal Palace would beat Tottenham.
That Crystal Palace would lose to Tottenham.
Yeah, they would lose to Tottenham by 4-1. I called him out on that. I was like, really? So the deal was that if Crystal Palace lost to Tottenham by 4-1, I personally would do the Ice Bucket Challenge.
But
if any of the scoreline went down, Matt Downey would do the Ice Bucket Challenge. I don't know why he agreed to this, but Crystal Palace won 2-1, and Matt Downey is going to be doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. We haven't actually
recorded it yet.
We haven't recorded it, and we haven't confirmed a date yet. But we can promise you it will happen, and it will happen in the winter too. Just so he's a bit more.
We'll do it in the next couple of weeks, so it's still cold.
We'll whack it up on the YouTube and the Facebook and the blog. It'll be there. Check that out when it's up there. That should be fun. But yeah, this week's predictions.
That should be.
Let's not have any Ice Bucket Challenge stuff, guys. Let's have some goals. Woo! We have to start with the game we mentioned earlier, Aston Villa Liverpool. 3:00 game. There's no
so there are no early ones.
No early game this weekend in the Premier League. It's the Derby Notts Forest on Sky Sports Championship. But in the Premier League, it's Villa Liverpool. We mentioned about the protests. How will that affect the side, Villa?
It'll be an interesting one because Villa need all the help they can get, and if their own fans aren't backing them, I'm sorry.
There's that side to it. Yeah. So the thing I'm noticing is the side nowadays are players brought in by Lambert and funded by Lerner. The fans have a problem with the way Lerner and Lambert are running the club. So the fans have a problem with the players that they've brought in. So the players will look at the stand and go, oh, well, screw you then. It's not going to have a positive impact, is it? You've got to support the club all the way through, personally, I think. And Liverpool is going to be a tough game as it is. I still think you're going to beat us, Stu.
Yeah,
I can't even call it.
I mean, you do remember you did beat us like early on in the season. So.
We did.
Yeah, but since then they've been pretty awful.
We did.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we've been okay.
The fact that it was a away game helped because we play better away from home. We've got a tough couple of games coming up actually. Liverpool and then Arsenal, I believe, is our next game after the cup games.
Someone's trying to break in.
Someone's trying to break in through the roof, I believe. I'm not sure. That's what that banging is, by the way. We'll just talk louder. That's not a problem.
Don't ask me to talk louder, because I'll break the mic.
Yes.
Turn that down.
Don't break the mic, don't. Anyway. Yeah, so Villa Liverpool, we'll start with you. Matt, Tye.
I have gone 3-1 Liverpool.
Screw you. Stuart?
Obviously, 2-0 Liverpool.
Screw you.
Well,
I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. It's difficult, you know. It's difficult. A relegation 6-pointer maybe at Turf Moor is Burnley versus Crystal Palace. I seem to say that every week about Burnley games.
Relegation 6-pointer for Burnley. They could be playing City, so relegation 6-pointer.
But Burnley Crystal Palace is a relegation 6-pointer, I believe, really.
On the same points.
I mean, Burnley 17th, Crystal Palace 15th, same points as Stuart mentioned. I mean, 15th downwards, there's a point between 15th and 19th, and then Leicester at the bottom on 17th, on 17 points. So they're a bit screwed. Burnley Crystal Palace, Matt Tye.
I've gone 2-1 Palace.
Stuart Irvine.
2-1 Palace.
I don't know.
Because Palace were on good form against Tottenham, and then they've also added Yaya Sanogo to their ranks.
I'm going to go 2-2 and get some goals in the game. Leicester versus Stoke. It's a mid-table tie for Stoke. A must-win game for Leicester, I think, at this point. At the King Power Stadium as well, which adds to it. Can Leicester really deal with the pressure of having to win the game?
They dealt against you.
Touché. And we beat Stoke, so by that logic,
Stoke will win.
That's football, guys. Matt Tye.
I have gone 2-1 Stoke.
Oh.
I reckon it's going to be closer than a lot of people think.
Stuart Irvine.
I'm going to go 1-1.
And I'll go 2-1 Stoke as well, to be fair. Stoke are a decent side nowadays.
I don't like saying that. Stoke are decent.
They're decent on the ball as well. That's the scary bit.
Yeah.
When Stoke can pass better than you're in trouble.
It was brought the other day. When Stoke are going for players from Barcelona and Bayern Munich, that's when you start thinking, okay, maybe we should start taking you seriously now rather than the rugby team.
Yep. Yep, definitely. At Loftus Road in 3 o'clock kickoff, it's QPR versus Manchester United. In a pretty interesting game for the neutral, that is, because QPR are always interesting to watch. 19th, they need a victory to propel themselves out the bottom 3. Man United in at 4th, and they need a victory to catch up with Southampton now, are 2 points ahead after that.
They don't need a victory, because as it stands, Graham's doing an ice bucket challenge.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Graham needs them to have a victory, or else an ice bucket challenge is coming. How much of a good result was that for Southampton last week?
That was a brilliant result. I loved it.
I personally thought Tadic, it was a phenomenal finish. It really was, because yes, the goal's open as such, but the pressure's on. Because
he had 3 players sliding in on him.
Yeah, he had 3 players sliding in. He's watching the ball come to him while looking at the goal. So he's got all that time to think about what he can do. You're just like, I could miss this. I could miss this. Stuart would have missed it.
Yeah, but I'm a terrible player. So,
you're not that bad, Stu.
Harry Redknapp, will he get the victory he so desires? Matt Tye.
No.
No?
No. 3-1 United.
Stuart.
2-1 United.
I want to go 1-1. Come on, QPR. Oh, that felt wrong. Swansea versus Chelsea, Liberty Stadium. There's no Fernando Torres to get sent off in this tie, as he always seems to like to against Swansea.
He never got sent off against Swansea.
Got sent off at Stamford Bridge a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, kicking out. Yeah. That's once in 3 years.
It's the only time he ever plays, though, isn't it? Let's be honest. What do you think, Stu? Can Swansea really up the trend and beat Chelsea?
Why not? I mean, to be honest, I mean, even like last Chelsea's 2 defeats this season have been away from home. I'm sure of that.
But at the same time, after watching what Chelsea did to Newcastle last weekend, I'm sorry, but that was a revenge mission. That was, you beat us, did you? Let's get down to business.
I was saying that for the first 20-30 minutes, Remy Cabella had us like, oh God, yeah, not again.
That's true. That is true. But Chelsea, they beat them in the end. They beat Newcastle, and they are going well.
We're top officially now, not just by the fact we're named differently.
2 points in it after Everton's 1-1 draw with City. As much as I want Swansea to win this one, you can't look further than Chelsea. So we'll go Matt Tyes. How much are Chelsea going to win by?
I've gone 2-0.
I'll go 2-0. Stuart will go
2-1.
Who's trying to break in?
This is getting annoying, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Tottenham, Sunderland, White Hart Lane. Tottenham.
That is genuinely starting to annoy me now.
I think somebody knows we're recording and wants to be on the podcast. I mean, guys, you only have to ask.
Send us an email or something.
Send us an email. We'll get you on. We don't need Stuart on the phone.
Oh, cheers.
Anyway, Tottenham, Sunderland. Jermaine Defoe won't play, I don't think, unfortunately. I don't know whether he'll be signed in time to play this weekend. That's a shame, because that'll be a hell of a sight. Jermaine Defoe scoring against Tottenham. Sunderland in 16th. They've had a decent run of form lately. They've not been doing too badly, as such. I mean, yes, they lost 1-0 to Liverpool, but they were unlucky in that game, personally, I thought. Sunderland didn't play too badly. Tottenham are in 6th. With a win, they will go above Arsenal for at least a day, possibly more. So into 4th, which is a good... This banging's getting really annoying.
Is there some people doing work or something?
I have no idea what it is. This is the hazards of recording, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh dear,
but
man.
yeah, we'll try and get through it quickly. Tottenham versus Sunderland.
2-1 Spurs.
Stuart?
2-0 Spurs.
I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs, and Kane's going to destroy them again. By God, stop the match. Newcastle versus Southampton is the late kick-off on Sky Sports. Newcastle looking to bounce back from that loss to Chelsea, while Southampton are in top form, as we mentioned, with a win over United. Southampton will go within... they will go within
Isn't it 2
5
points?
points of
Five.
City with a win, with City playing on Sunday. They will also go, which is the interesting one for Southampton, with a win they go 6 points ahead of Arsenal.
Ooh.
Because Southampton won't necessarily be looking at we have to get 3rd. If they finish 4th, that's brilliant for them. So 6 points ahead of their nearest rival for that, really. Go on, Matt Tye, we'll call it.
2-1 Saints.
Stuart, will the Saints go marching in?
Indeed they will, and it'll be 2-0 to Southampton.
3-0 Southampton.
Ooh.
Oh.
You want some goals?
Some goals. West Ham Hull is the early kick-off on the Sunday, 1:30. I believe that's on Sky Sports 2 at Upton Park. West Ham are on form. They had the emotional roller coaster at Everton. They drew 1-1 with Swansea last time out, which was disappointing for them. Will they get back to winning ways this weekend?
I believe so. I've gone 3-1 West Ham.
And Stuart will go West Ham as well, I'm guessing.
Well, no, I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1. I think.
Just spite me. I'm going to go with a 2-1 West Ham victory. Hull are a harder side than you think, as West Brom found out last weekend.
Yeah, but Hull have also got major injury concerns at this moment.
They do. Man, they could do with Hatton Ben Arthur. And possibly the biggest game, well, yes, the biggest game of the weekend is at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday, 4 o'clock kickoff. Sky Sports 1 HD, Manchester City versus Arsenal, in a repeat of the Community Shield.
I've been looking at Sky Sports Twitter feed recently, and they've done a poll on who they reckon will win. 68% say Arsenal.
Really?
Well, the problem is with that, there's people know how to use Twitter in London, and like they don't get the internet in Manchester. So I'm kidding.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a tough game for both sides, to be honest. A draw will be a decent result for both.
The thing is, we said it would be a tough game for the last season, and it ended up being City something like 6-2.
6-2, that's very true. Is it going to be the same again, Matt Tye? We are like 10 minutes over.
No, I'm going to go 3-1 City.
3-1 City. I mean, if City have got a tough couple of games, actually. They've got Arsenal at home, Chelsea away.
Hey.
Then the mighty Hull visit Etihad. Stuart, is it going to be a win for City?
Yeah, I mean, when Arsenal's defensively, I just think City's going to blow them away, so it's going to be 2-1. City.
I'm going to go 3-1 to City as well, just because I hope Arsenal go into next week's showdown with the mighty Villa on a bad run of form. We'll finish up with Monday's game at Goodison. Everton, who we thought were back on form after the 1-1 draw against City, didn't beat West Ham in the FA Cup, so they're back to square one. They host West Brom, who are in a bit of form. You know, Berahino is taking care of business.
What's going on with West Brom? Paul Jewell was their assistant coach last week, and now he's not.
Well, this is a phenomenal little story. And Paul Jewell came in as assistant coach with Tony Pulis. Then after 2 days, left the club apparently on mutual consent. Now Paul Jewell is seeking legal advice because he said it wasn't mutual consent. He didn't want to leave and he got sacked for some reason that's unknown. He's going to sue West Brom. This is a really developing story. So in 6 months when the court case is, or however long it takes, we will be reporting on this one, I guarantee you. Everton West Brom, Matt Tye.
2-2.
Stuart Irvine.
1-1.
I'm sitting on the fence, are we, boys? As much as it pains me to say this, I want to go for a 2-0 victory to West Brom. Berahino. He's going to
take care of business.
Quite. Going to take care of the goals. And that's all of the Premier League games this weekend. I mean, I think next week...
Shall we do the Capital One Cup ties on this week?
I thought it was... I was about to say it's the Capital One Cup ties. It's a big game.
Because it's Sheffield United, Tottenham and...
Which isn't really the biggest game, is it?
Then it's Liverpool-Chelsea.
Liverpool-Chelsea. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal draw, really. Liverpool-Chelsea on the Tuesday. Sky Sports, I guarantee.
First leg this week, second leg next week.
Yeah. This is the important thing. It's 2 legs now.
Mm.
The game changes. It's not a cup competition as such. It's a... Well, it is a cup, but you know what I mean? It has got a cup feel. Liverpool will be hoping, in a way, at Anfield. They'll be looking for a victory, but they'll be really hoping Chelsea don't score.
Because the away goal rule comes in after extra time.
Yeah. If Liverpool get a 0-0 draw, would you be happy with that, Stuart?
Stuart.
So I wanted to listen. Anyway. So say again?
We were just having a full-on conversation with you, Stuart, and you just didn't listen.
Sorry.
Would you take a 0-0 draw in the first leg of the League Cup?
Well, not really. Because of the fact that we'll have to go to Stamford Bridge and try and score.
I know, but say you win 2-1, yeah? Chelsea have the away goal.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I don't know. I think I'm guessing we have to hope we win like 2-0. Let's hope. So as you said.
Oh yeah, of course you prefer a 2-0 victory. I'm just mentioning the away goal. Really.
Would you take a 0-0 over a 2-1?
It's an interesting conversation. Because to me, I think at that point they're exactly the same. In the sense of if Chelsea score at Stamford Bridge and it's 0-0, they're 1-0 up and they win the game anyway.
Yeah.
If Chelsea score at Stamford Bridge and it's already 2-1, it goes to 2-2.
Extra time.
But after extra time, they win the game anyway. You only buy yourself an extra half hour with a 2-1 scoreline. So I'm not too sure on that one. Matt Tye will call it. Is it Stuart versus Matt now? I'm guessing.
Yeah. I'm going 2-1 Chelsea.
And your rebuttal, Stuart?
I'm just going to go 2-1 Liverpool then.
I want to sit on the fence. 1-1. Tottenham Sheffield United is the lower key game, really. White Hart Lane, Sheffield United will be praying they come away with something there.
Sheffield United have done some magical cup run.
They can beat Tottenham at Bramall Lane.
Yeah.
I believe that. At White Hart Lane, I don't. So if they get a 0-0 or a 1-1 would be the perfect result for Sheffield United there. Away goal.
I do think they'll get a 1-1. That's my prediction for it. 1-1.
Stuart?
Yeah, same. I just think Tottenham might underestimate Sheffield United because they have been quite well in the cup games. So I'll go 1-1 as well.
Because Spurs will put out their B team, which will be Soldado, and if he can't score from 4 yards, I don't think...
Can't score from 4 yards, he's not going to score at all, is he?
No.
I'm going to go 1-1 as well, so it's 1-1 across the board. Has anyone actually written down?
I thought you were. You said you were before the show. You would write it down.
Totally
You just have to listen to it again.
Listen back. Yeah. If anybody wants to do that for us, if you take a listen and write it down in a comment on YouTube, feel free.
We will employ you. We'll pay you in crisps.
We'll pay you in podcasts.
Appearance fees.
But that's your lot, unfortunately, guys, for this week. Apologies again for the absence of Graham Eyre and Matt Thowney. We want to actually plug the blog at the end, because we have actually had a makeover.
Woo!
Since we were last with you, the blog's had a makeover. It's got a very new professional look, I believe. We seem to be happy with. On the home page there are pages you can click where each author as such, us basically, have their own page, so their own articles are in there. If you want to see purely Matt Tye's articles, click on his page, he's right there. So yeah, make sure you keep up to date with the blog, because we are going all in on it now. We
are taking care of business.
We are taking care of business and getting the blogs. But
while we're on the blog, don't forget, if you do want to write for us, you can email us at arcadefootballpodcast@gmail.co.uk.
It's not if you want to write for us and you're on the Facebook page, you can actually Facebook message the page, I believe.
Yeah, I'll get the notification.
And one of us will get the notification anyway.
One of us. Or message us on Twitter as well.
Or you can tweet us as well. Or the email, as Matt mentioned, it's arcadefootballtalk.
Apologies, talk.
These will all be linked in the YouTube video. If you want to write for us, there's your opportunity. I believe that's all we've got. I don't think there's anything we've forgotten. We haven't got Matt and Graham to keep us reminded and Graham to rant with, which is a shame.
Matt to write predictions down.
And
to burn.
We did have Stuart Irvine with us, so thanks for joining us, Stuart.
That's Simon.
Matt, and we got Matt Tye in the studio, and myself, Carl Dixon. We hope you join us next time for the Arcade Football Podcast Season 2. Goodbye.
Goodbye.